All right, welcome to my studio. Peace and love, everybody. What I'm getting ready to do is add more texture to a painting that I'm working on, so I thought I would just share it with you. Um, I love to add texture. I love to play with textures. There are a couple of textures that I really love to use, and the main one is modeling paste. And so I use modeling paste by Liquitex a lot. This is regular it's called flexible modeling paste. Okay, but they also have light modeling paste, and the difference is this one is heavy. The light modeling paste is very light, and it also dries a little bit quicker. This takes, if you pack it on like I like to do, it'll you need to let it sit. I normally will do it overnight. Well, I'll do it at night or the day before I want to paint. Today, I'm going to do it a little bit different because I am going to be adding color into it. Excuse me. I'm going to be adding color into the modeling paste, which is a better way I found to work than to put it on and then paint on top of it. And here's why. When you put it on and then paint on top of it, it's hard to get into the creases and the crevices. It takes some work. Like you got to mess up your brushes a little bit trying to get the paint in between the cracks and stuff. When you put it in the paint, it's just all in there, right? You don't have to worry about getting it in the cracks and crevices because it's all mixed in the paint. The other texture that I like to use is heavy glass gel. So heavy glass gel, this will dry matte. The heavy glass gel, hence its name, it will dry glassy. Um, I like to use also pumice stone. Liquitex makes some like pumice texture, pumice stone. I wish I had an example. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. I was like, oh, I should record this. So I don't have an example. Oh, here it is. I do have an example. So this is an old painting, and you see this is the pumice texture. I love this texture a lot. And it comes in a jar just like the other one. So you can easily buy that off the shelf. Um, oh, and speaking of textures, I also like to use a lot of gold leaf in my paintings, and it also adds texture and dimension and depth. So I hope you can see that. So anyway, I'm about to go ahead and all right. So I'm about to go ahead and use the modeling paste. I'm gonna show you how I mix it, how I like to use it. So first things first, you need a palette knife, some kind of palette knife. I have a whole bunch of different kinds of palette knives. I'm gonna use this little round one just because this is what I have on hand. And this is my palette. I love this. Let me tell you what this is real quick. I know I'm off the subject, but these are like, I went in Michael's and they had like these cake, like this is in the cake aisle, and you use these to sit your cakes on. And I just bought a whole pack of them and broke them in half. And I love them because you can even peel this stuff off too when it's wet. You can peel it off and reuse it. So anyway, I'm not going to use this one because it has too much paint. It has too much paint, and when it gets wet, the paint will lift up under it. So anyway, let me go ahead and add some. Let me see if you can see that. Okay. So all I'm doing is I'm just scooping it like a spoon. And I am putting it on my palette. All right, so this canvas, all right, cool. That's about enough. Not about that much. Put the top on this. And the color I decided to go with is not this. I thought I pulled out my magenta. Let me find it real quick. Oh, found it. Okay. So the color I'm getting ready to add to it is magenta, one of my favorite colors. It's called really quinacridone. I can't ever say this word, quinacridone magenta. And so all you have to do is put the paint right into the modeling paste, That's about enough. This is very highly pigmented. Even though this one is kind of transparent, it's still very highly pigmented. So, boom, I'm just going to go ahead and start mixing. Just going to go ahead and start mixing this paint with the modeling paste. And it does tell you that you will get a tad bit of a shade lighter when you mix it in. So you see it came out of the tube kind of dark, and it's kind of light on here. And to be honest, sometimes it does dry a little bit darker on the canvas anyway, so I don't worry about that. All right, and so then to apply my method, they call this impasto painting. I just call it knife painting because I just drag it and do whatever I want. Impasto painting is when you lay it on there and keep it on there real thick like that, right? But I tend not to leave it thick like that because I like to do this and really like just play in it. So right now I'm just playing, I'm having fun. And what I'm thinking in my head is balance and harmony. So I have all of this pink over here. Now I think I'll come, I don't really like this, first of all, I don't like to waste products. So I'm gonna get all this and I'm gonna just put it on here somewhere. But I don't really like this palette knife. So I'm gonna switch to a more angular one like that. I guess I can scrape into this. And so what I'm doing now on this painting is I'm just building up layers. This is the subject, right? This saxophone, and this is going to be piano keys kind of sprawling out of it. And I've been doing this subject a long time, over and over again. And so now what I'm playing with is how to do it differently with a whole bunch of different layers, kind of flow with my abstract style as well, and just do something new and fresh. So we'll see where this goes. I switched palette knives again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get some more of that pink. Oh, I like that. That's thick. I like it. And then I think I want to scrape into this anyway. And so this scraping, I learned this watching a couple of different artists that I just love on the brand right now. Lori, I want to say her name is Mirabelli. I love when Lori is painting and showing this scraping technique that she uses. So, let's see. Is that pink enough for me? Nope, not yet. I love pink. First of all, I love pink. Pink is my favorite color. One of my favorite colors. Turquoise is my other favorite color. A little bit more in here. A little bit more in here. So again, I'm just thinking balance, unity. Oh, I like it. Let me get a little bit in here too. And I want a little bit of the darker. Let me see if I can get just a straight magenta on the back end of this. Oh, I like that. That was not magenta. Oh, that was not the color I wanted. But you know what I say? People always say there are no mistakes in art. Bull crap. There are mistakes in art. I did not mean to do that. But what you can do is embrace the mistake, like I tell my students. So I'm going to just go ahead and embrace this crimson. I did not mean to do this. Okay, well, let's see. Let's roll with it. Let's roll. I like a challenge. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, like when I do stuff like that, what I do is I just accept it and then I just fold it into the painting. So I already know, even if I'm struggling through the painting, I know it's going to come out. I'm going to work on it until I'm happy with it and until it comes out the way I want it to. So it's like, okay, that's a mistake, a happy little mistake, like Bob Ross says in those videos. It's a happy little mistake. All right, now now I'm getting into it, right? So I want in my spirit is like, okay, lighten this painting up. So I always work dark to light. I always work dark to light. So I've been on dark for a minute now, and I'm ready to start lightening this thing up. So I'm about to switch to back up. Let me see. Where am I with this thing? Let's see. Roll with this a little bit more pink. Roll with it a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Ooh. All right. Now, I think I had not planned this, but since this video is about texture, I'm gonna try something new and something different. And I think I'm gonna give this piano swirl some texture. I've never done that before in my paintings, I don't think. And I'm gonna just come straight out of the jar. I'm gonna come straight out of the jar and we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go. Whew, I'm a little scared, not really, but I'm gonna do it. All right, let's go. Let me get some of this color off of my palette knife because I don't want to dirty up my modeling paste too much. I kind of like this. Okay, let's see. Keep going, Myesha. Don't back out now, honey. You already started. You already started, my love, so keep on going. Let's see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna keep on going. Am I having second thoughts? Nope. Keep on going. Oh, I like it. I like what's starting to happen because you see now, some of the paint is still wet. Like that crimson color is still wet, so I got in my modeling paste, and I like it. I would like this to be a little bit tighter. Let's see. All right, I like that. So I'm gonna go back over it because this is an experiment. I have never done this before, but I like what's beginning to happen. And so I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna go a little bit thicker. Why not? Who cares? Oh, I didn't even do that. Let's come over here. Am I standing in front of the camera? No, okay, you can see that. So, ooh-wee. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Let's keep going back. Let's get it now. You're already in it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is how I talk to myself in my head. I'm just forcing myself to do it out loud. Let's go. Come on, man. Keep going. I promise you with art, you gotta just fight the fear and keep going. Because a lot of this, I'm like, I don't like, right? Like I wish instead of black, I would have did purple right here. No, but I'm gonna deal with that later. Right now, I'm just in it. I'm in this modeling pace, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna flow with. Flow with the modeling pace. That's it. All those other regrets I have over here, we'll deal with that later. And I'm not sure how this is. I'm gonna just do my own thing right there. Yeah, we'll do that. Because I didn't really like how that swirl was swirling like that, so I'm gonna just swirl it. Yeah, that's better. All right. Now, what is today? What's today's number? Some gold. All right. So I think I'm gonna stop there with the modeling paste. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do a little bit more because I'm ready to start lightening up. So I'm gonna put some in this pink. Oh. Oh. I wasn't expecting it to do that, but I'm not crazy about that, but okay. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it for now. Ooh, but I like that. I don't like this, but I like that. Ooh, I like that too. I like that color in it. Okay. All right. So I'm done with the modeling paste and with the texture. I'm looking for the top. Oh, let me say that before I end this video. Very important with your modeling paste and with your mediums. Do not leave the tops off them. Ask me how I know. Or ask me how I know. Because I have done it many a times. You come back the next day and all of this mess is hard. Don't do it. Put the top on it. Always put the top. Don't forget, okay? You might get away with some tubes of paint not putting the top on it, but with your mediums, don't do it. All right, one last thing I want to do before I stop this video, because I see it. It says that, and I'm looking for black. All right. This has nothing to do with textures and with mediums, but while I'm in it, I see I wanna pronounce this line a little bit more, so I'm gonna just do it right now. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. I gotta skip this because that's wet. I want to bring this back. I want to pronounce this a little bit more. Let me get under here. What is this on? Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to do before I end this video. So yeah, give me some structure. Let me put it around here. Kind of sort of here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And I want to pronounce some of this. I can't do too much because that white is very wet. Bring that back. Let me get under here as well. And then I'm going to stop. All right. So I'm going to stop here on this session. And this is also another lesson. Learn when you're painting and you're painting in layers, learn when to stop. Because I could keep going. And if I go 5 more minutes, the things that I'm thinking in my head is going to turn into a hot mess. So I have to stop and let this layer dry and then come back. All right. So that's it. That was fun. That was fun and quick. Peace and love. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you learned something, I learned something. I learn something every time I paint. If you learn something, drop it in the comments. Let me know. And if you want to know something else, like if you have a question, let me know and I'm happy to answer. All right. Peace.